Now, have you reached a position where you are getting the roles that you initially came to the industry for? You're like, मुझे मिल रहा है काम अच्छा.
ये कहना बहुत मुश्किल है रोहित. I don't think I have a very definite answer to this. Is it getting better? Yes.
Okay.
I think with each project, what is happening is that I'm earning some more credibility, and I can see the attitude of filmmakers and everybody changing towards.
So when things don't work out, say you audition something didn't work out.
Yeah.
What is the best way to deal with that time and situation?
Especially for an actor, it feels personal because you're being judged on the way you look, the way you talk. Even your performance is kind of an extension of you.
Yeah.
So when you're told that you're not fit for it, it can sometimes feel personal. So it's taken me many years to realize that no, this is not a judgment on how you are or how you do things.
There are so many actors in the industry who I talk to, Kritika now, who tell me that they don't have work. They are meeting filmmakers. How tough is this?
It's tough. It's volatile, firstly. I think as a freelancer, anyway, you know that you're never going to have that fixed salary, stability, fixed number of days of work or anything. So for an actor also, as we're creative nomads, it's just how it is.
Abroad, how it works is sometimes seasons are commissioned at the start.
Yes.
Here, do you see that happening or do you not see that happening?
Yeah, so seasons are commissioned in the sense that I think most of the stuff that at least the big platforms take today is extendable, which means that you always have a broad idea of multiple seasons, and I think it works well for everybody involved that you make another season. Hi, this is Kritika Kamra and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
Kritika, welcome to Bollywood Hungama once again.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
And congratulations. Always good to meet an actor at a time when their series or movie has just exploded and done well.
I think you're lucky for me because you always meet me at the time when something's done well. We last met after Bombay Meri Jaan.
Right, yeah.
And now, getting love for Gyaarah Gyaarah. So good times.
That's true. And both these, you really had an impactful role. So we'll come to both these. Firstly, tell me when I'll take you back to Gyaarah Gyaarah starting and all. पेपर पे कैसे समझ में आता है different timelines, walkie talkie पे someone is talking, how did you understand this on paper?
So it took some time because obviously you've seen the show, so you know that whole thing unfolds almost till the last episode, and still so many questions are unanswered, for which I'm getting a lot of anger and hate at this point. My comments are just full of season 2 कब आएगा, van में नहीं जाना चाहिए था, switch नहीं छूना चाहिए था, all of that. So it was just like that. It's basically when you first start reading something, you want it to be engaging. You want to be able to turn the page. You want to be excited to know what's happening next, and that was very much there. And then जब पढ़ा तो I think that was what piqued my curiosity also. That how are we going to do this? We haven't done this before. We haven't seen this. So, and I was privy, I'm a filmmaking nerd also, so I like to be a part of these discussions or even eavesdrop when the director is designing something or when all these filmmaking chats are happening. So when they were deciding this, they said that they're going to do 2 different tones. And so when you see the past, it's a completely different color tone. And in the present, you have the past is very like sepia, very almost retro. And the present is blue and it's cold because we're also shooting in a cold place. We're talking about cold cases. Generally, the environment is of crime and coldness. So a lot of like symbolic things like that. And then of course, we never really go into explaining how that thing happens. I think that's also the fun of it because you have to take that flight of fantasy. Especially with a sci-fi thing like this. Correct. So I was intrigued as well to see how it'll all come together, and I think it has come together well.
Yeah, it really has. You're also when this genre like. For example, I don't know how to say this. A seasoned director, you'll have more confidence that they'll pull off. When Rang De Basanti was made, we knew what this director has done and it has 2 timelines, he'll be able to pull off. Your director itself, it was a first for him also. How did you get that confidence that, he'll be able to pull this off?
So it's the entire team, right? You know how much production also really matters. So now Dharma and Sikya have come together to make something like this.
Two of the best,
and it's an ambitious concept. So I kind of knew that they'll be able to pull it off. They know this the best. And Umesh sir, when I met him, I mean, this may be his first web series, but he's done a lot of
Yeah,
work.
he's done good work, right.
And I have seen Paglet, and
Yes.
very sensitive filmmaker. So I knew that the interpersonal relationship stuff will be very, very
Yeah.
nice with him, because he's a
Right.
gentle person, very
Yes.
wise soul if you meet him.
Yes.
You know, talks philosophy and like really understands people. So those things are also very important when you're telling a story, because at the end of the day, it's the relationships and the characters that are going to drive it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But this concept, I was surprised that he's attempting something like this, because his last film was different. But he also has quite a great body of work.
He has,
he's,
yeah. There's
yeah,
just
theater, television, film, everything. So when I met him, I just kind of
Knew.
instinctively knew.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is when you're on the sets.
Yeah.
Is it clear that this is happening, like, timeline, or there are days where you're like, oh God, will we be able to put this together?
So for me, obviously, because I'm in both the timelines, there
Yeah.
were days that I was shooting one scene from the present and one from the past. So like
On the same day?
On the same day sometimes, because the police station location is the same. So it's all location driven. Everything is like, it has to logistically make sense.
So explain what is required. If you're going from one scene to another, what is that day like?
So that day, in fact, that was, I think, my first day was like that. I
Wow.
started with a scene with Gyaarah on the staircase, which is from the past.
Okay.
And then in the same day, we had to do some stuff that was of the present as well in the night. So it was interesting, because you see, also with this one, the thing is that the costume did not really give you that much of a difference.
That's true, yeah.
And also in terms of my aging, which is also some criticism that I've got, that some people think I've not aged enough.
Okay.
But the thing is that she's maybe 20 when she joins, and 35 in the present. So I couldn't have really relied on grey hair or prosthetics or...
Yeah, and this is an age where not many people change drastically,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I couldn't really do that. So I'm saying for that difference, I had no crutches like this. So it had to all come in the body language or the performance. And we had workshopped everything. So that really helped. That staircase scene we had done many, many times. But then, of course, in the moment, things happen differently. He offers me some orange in the scene, and I take it, and how that's going to play out, when am I going to eat, all of that, you don't know. These are just things that happen on set, and that's the fun of it. So we did that scene, and then you have to sort of learn to remind yourself of what has now happened in the life of this character, and where are we in the story now. So it takes a beat. You take that time, and you just come back again. But again, if the director knows how to brief you, then I think I am somebody who just will fully surrender and depend on them.
This kind of criticism so detailed that people have, that also means that these people have watched it carefully and they are invested in it. Where does this come from? This is just comments, this is reviews, this is people telling you, where all did this
I
come
read
from?
everything. I read every little comment ke niche wala comment also I read. Reply to comment also I read. So I've read everything, all reviews, all comments, whatever videos, things that people tag me on, things that people don't tag me on, even. Sometimes if there's some chatter, I am one of those people. I think for like 2 days when something releases, I go and read everything.
Right. And do some reviews surprise you? Like, in what way?
Yeah, sometimes, because sometimes you realize how subjective this thing is, because one review can like something about the show and another review may have not liked that very thing, or liked something else that somebody else has criticized. So sometimes, and especially now, because now you don't just read like 10 main reviews. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody has a social media account to put out that opinion. So you're essentially reading a lot of opinions and voices of different people, different age groups, different demographics. So it's not going to be the same.
Right.
And but you just get a sense of what is it overwhelmingly, like what is the majority saying, and you kind of go with that.
What did friends and family say?
Friends and family are not objective. My parents have watched the show thrice already.
Wow.
And they love it. They are also my biggest fans, so they can barely criticize anything I do.
Right. What did they think? They used to see you in a uniform and all that?
Oh, they were very proud.
Yeah.
They're very proud. They are quite excited about it. And my father's very excited about the songs in it. And there's a music video that Zee's also put out now with Arijit Singh's song. And that video, I think my father's obsessed with.
Nice.
Yeah.
And friends?
Friends liked it also. People who turned up at the screening, and otherwise, I've got a lot of messages and calls from people. I feel like people are also pleasantly surprised because they weren't expecting this concept, because it's new, and a lot of people didn't imagine me in a uniform.
Right.
So that's also been surprising.
Right.
But overall, good stuff.
Nice. When you take up something like this, it's great. You look great in a uniform and all that. Now this is done. Can an actor plan this, that, okay, next I want to do something glamorous and I would like to show my pretty side, and this is something that you pulled off very well, but can you plan it like that?
I don't know what comes
Would
your
you
way.
like to plan it like that?
I would love to. I
Okay.
wish I could. And at this
Okay.
point, yes, I would love to do something that is maybe light-hearted, maybe glamorous, or even a great comedy or something, I've done a lot of these intense dramas. And yes, you're right, hair and makeup have not been a very big parts in what I've done so far. So
Right.
I would love to be glam.
Right.
But I'm right now just doing that for Instagram and getting happy with it.
We are very happy with that. So even before that, Bombay Meri Jaan,
Yeah.
so these have been consecutive roles where
Yeah.
we are yet to see a glam avatar,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Sometimes I feel like, nahi, heroine banna tha.
Yeah.
Not really.
Right. And tell me now, have you reached a position where you are getting the roles that you initially came to the industry for? You're like, मुझे मिल रहा है काम अच्छा.
ये कहना बहुत मुश्किल है, Rohit. I don't think I have a very definite answer to this. Is it getting better? Yes.
Okay.
I think with each project, what is happening is that I'm earning some more credibility, and I can see the attitude of filmmakers and everybody changing towards me.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. I think casting directors have been kind to me from the beginning. They've really taken chances on me to to test me for stuff, to test me for a gangster and for a police officer. It is the imagination of casting directors that has got me to give it a shot.
Right.
And then filmmakers have also liked that performance and decided to bet on me for the whole project.
Right.
So that investment and that conviction means a lot to me.
Right.
Because it makes me confident as an actor.
Right.
And I think as I am becoming confident and as I'm able to show a bit of range, I think that people are happier to take a bet on me, to give me something that they've not seen me do before.
Right, and we can see that. We can also see that change. What you're saying.
Yeah.
Going forward, does one have to sit down with teams and everyone, whoever you work with, and be like, now I want to scale up, and I would like this filmmaker and this production house. Do you sit and do that?
I'm a realist.
Okay.
I sit and do this, but I'm not. I also know what's possible, what's not possible. I've been around for a while. I understand that some decisions and some things are very commerce driven.
Okay.
So I can't have unrealistic expectations, I feel. But of course, from a personal point of view, I am ambitious and I want to do only bigger and better. And I think I've always been punching above my weight. So I've had to really go out there and put myself out there, go out there and get things for myself.
Okay.
I don't depend on, I don't sit back and wait for things to pour in. I'm not that person. I don't think that's worked for me in the past also.
Okay.
I think that if I have clarity of what I want to do, then I will go out and seek out those paths or initiate conversations with those filmmakers. And try to see if we can collaborate. So yeah, so these are these thoughts, but no, there are no roundtable discussions on how to scale up.
Right. When things don't work out, say you audition something didn't work out.
Yeah.
Do you get worked up? What is the best way to deal with that time and situation? How have you dealt with it?
I think the best way is to distract yourself. I don't get worked
that's
up.
a
I
good thing,
definitely get quite heartbroken for a bit.
Okay.
I won't deny. I think it's very difficult to take that rejection even now. It's taken me many years to realize that it's not personal. Because a lot of times, especially for an actor, it feels personal. Because you're being judged on the way you look, the way you talk. Even your performance is kind of an extension of you.
Yeah.
So when you're told that you're not fit for it, it can sometimes feel personal. So it's taken me many years to realize that no, this is not a judgment on how you are or how you do things. Maybe you're just not right for this particular part or this setup or whatever it is.
Right.
So I think that clarity really helps you kind of find closure. If you can just tell yourself that it's not because you're not good enough.
Okay.
Sometimes you can also not be good enough, but I'm saying that a lot of times there are reasons, and if you understand those reasons, then that feedback you can use to improve yourself and also tell yourself, "Ki, theek hai yaar, this is not something I really fit in, and I can't do everything, so maybe I'll try something."
When and how did this clarity come?
Uh,
Yeah, it's meant, everything can't work out. Yeah.
See, I think the instinct when you are rejected is to blame the other person.
Yeah.
Or to be like, oh, it's not fair only, or oh,
And also, how could she get it, right?
yeah, or anything like that, or like the other person, they didn't understand what I could have done or whatever. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But if you take a beat, then you can kind of look within and see what you could have done differently.
Yeah, okay.
And also understand that maybe they have their reasons. And sometimes some filmmakers have been able, like they have taken the time out and had the care to vocalize why I couldn't be a part of something.
Right.
And more often than not, it's turned out to be very practical things.
Yeah,
They've not
true,
been
true,
because
true.
That because I'm a bad actor.
Yeah. No, you're right. And many filmmakers and actors I talked to, and the actors obviously upset, but the filmmaker said this was required for this.
Yes.
So sometimes the director has to take a tough decision, be it with friends. Pehle zamane mein what would happen is that half of the actors I used to talk to did films for friends. Ki,
Yes.
"Arey, ye mera dost hai, chal tu ye," she's the actress, because we go back a long way. And we are glad that we have crossed that time, and it's not just going to family and friends.
Yeah. And also those are the times when characters were more flexible. You could model something around a particular actor.
Yeah.
But now, because script is so important and because stories have become more authentic and there's a genuine effort to cast authentically, there are sometimes like there could be something that I may not be able to pull off because of language.
Yeah.
Or
correct.
maybe my age.
Right.
Or a certain look. Or something. So then those are things that you can't really do anything about. You're just not right for that part.
Cool. And someone else is just perfect for that part.
Yeah, and sometimes you watch it and you're like, yeah, it makes
no wonder.
sense.
Right. No, that is very interesting, that the way you look at it is interesting. Who do you go to? Like, suppose something doesn't work out, who's your go-to person? Would you discuss with someone from the industry or not from the industry?
No, I'm actually not a sharer at all.
You're not a sharer at all?
No, I'll sit in it.
You live by yourself with it?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
I do that. I don't go to family with it because
Correct.
I think it worries them, and also they're not a part of the business. So a lot of things for them, I don't think they can fully understand how this works.
And you wouldn't want to add
Yeah, I don't want to bother them.
Yeah.
There are one or two people, some friends.
Okay.
But nobody, like I don't have a mentor.
Okay.
I don't have, and I think that's something that being an outsider, so to say, you kind of miss.
True.
To just have somebody you can go to with these kind of things. Somebody who has experience or who knows the world, the industry a little better. I don't have that. So I've only learned things on the job or from other people's experiences, or read about them, heard about them, and it's mostly instinctual.
True. Not to compare anyone and anything, but even in Urfi show, she says that मेरे को कोई fallback नहीं है. I can't fall back on anyone.
Yeah.
So there are so many actors in the industry who I talk to, Kritika now, who tell me that they don't have work. They are meeting filmmakers. My question to you is, how tough is this? What do you do?
It's tough. It's volatile, firstly. I think as a freelancer, anyway, you know that you're never going to have that fixed salary, stability, fixed number of days of work or anything. So for an actor also, as we're creative nomads, it's just how it is. And I think the last 1 year or so particularly has been slow for everybody.
For everybody, yeah.
That's what I'm gathering. I mean, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm gathering from my conversations with people in front of the camera and behind. So I think that post-pandemic, we are kind of like, there's been a bit of a shift. We are still sort of figuring out what works, what doesn't work.
Right.
And when the big stuff gets affected in like almost like a domino effect, the other stuff also sort of gets affected a little bit.
Right.
So things have been a bit slow is what I know.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I feel the same. How important it is to network, and are you that person who networks?
I won't say I'm a recluse. I'm a fairly friendly, outgoing person, and because of and I know people and all that, but I don't I'm not able to network.
Okay.
I've been advised that. I know there are things that I should be doing, etc., but I'm not able to do it. I'm just not cut out for it.
Sure,
Like
sure.
no
No,
shade on anybody who networks. I think
yeah,
it's a,
right.
I think it's actually cool for people who are able
Who
to
can
do
do
it.
it,
And in any
right.
industry, you have to be able to network. Let's
Right.
be honest about it. It's not
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
you can sit at home and work in a. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. So you have to. But I think for me, I rely more on auditions or
Right.
like try to get some meetings with people, sit one-on-one, because I know I'm not somebody who can meet someone socially and get something out of it. It's
Right.
just, I don't have that skill.
Right. Mumbai Meri Jaan did well for you, and everybody's waiting for the next season.
So am I.
What do you want to tell them?
I want to tell them that I'm also waiting.
Waiting for it.
So maybe Prime Video should be answering
Right.
this.
So one is that Mumbai Meri Jaan did good for you. Gyaarah Gyaarah did very well for you. You know, what does a hit success like this do to you?
I don't know. I'm yet to see. I want to see it in opportunities that come my way, actually. I mean, the stuff that I'm currently working on were all things that I signed before Gyaarah Gyaarah came out.
Okay.
So I think with every release, there is an expectation of better opportunities because you want your work to, if it's been noticed or if you've got some encouraging words for it, I hope that it translates to the kind of work that one wants to do, especially in today's time when there aren't plenty of choices.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know abroad how it works is sometimes seasons are commissioned at the start.
Yes.
Here, do you see that happening or do you not see that happening?
Yeah, so seasons are commissioned in the sense that I think most of the stuff that at least the big platforms take today is extendable, which means that you always have a broad idea of multiple seasons, and I think it works well for everybody involved that you make another season.
Correct.
For everybody who's employed for it, even for the producers, everyone. So the intention is always to make multiple seasons, unless it's designed to be a limited series or an anthology. We see very few of those.
Correct.
But most of the times, that's why things are left on a cliffhanger as well. But then again, the industry, it's dynamic. Things keep changing. The landscape keeps changing, and OTT is still very new in our country, I think. And I've said this before that I don't think there's a formula yet. Nobody really knows, which is a great thing, which is why we have such diverse content. But because we don't know yet, and because the goalpost keeps changing, and the metrics keep changing, and you know, just business keeps changing, and that's why sometimes second season or subsequent seasons don't happen or take longer than they're supposed to.
Right. So what did you sign before Gyaarah Gyaarah? Where will we see you next is my question.
I'm currently shooting for 2 series. One of them is for Netflix. It's called For Your Eyes Only. And that's the working title anyway. And the other one is Matka King. For Amazon with Nagraj Manjule. Yes, so these are the 2 things I'm currently occupied with. Hi, this is Kritika Kamra and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.